Okay, everybody. So we're going to start with the final speaker for today, and I'm so absolutely inspired to have Taryn Lee with us today. With her, I always, when I hear this boom chakalaka, I thought, right, that gets me going for the day. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being with us today, Taryn Lee. And I just want to once again thank all our partners on the call that have made this possible today. For International Women's Day, alongside with Business Engage, as Pfizer, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Accenture, Kearney, Life Healthcare, Nedbank, BMW, EOH, and Vodacom. Taryn Lee, over to you.
Hello, welcome everybody. I would love to dare you to put on some videos for me. Come on, I've got to see some gorgeous faces today. I'd love to see some videos on. You don't have to keep it on for the whole talk, just for the beginning so I can see your gorgeous faces. And while I introduce myself, I'll pop in and I'll say hi. So guys, I am Taryn Lee Kearney. And who am I? Thank you, Adele. Thank you, Shabs. Oh, you guys are looking gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, hello, everybody. Hi, Lisa. Oh, no, I can't even start the talk now. This is just too awesome. I'm loving this. Oh, word. Hello, Yolanda, Zama, Janine. There we go. Well done, ladies. Oh, there's Gentleman Nelson. Hello. Well done, Catherine, for putting your video on. Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much. And at the end of this, I'd really love for us to put our cameras on and just take an awesome photo together because I just feel so much love when I see your faces. Look at that, beautiful smiles. All right, let me not get distracted and let's get going. Fabulous, guys. My name is Taryn Kearney. Who is Taryn Kearney? I'm an industrial psychologist. A lot of people tend to call me the boom chakalaka lady because you cannot contain my energy. I give a lot of fire, I give a lot of spice, I give a lot of vuma. And I think I'm on the right because we're going to have lunch after this, and I want to see you guys boom chakalakaing now. So I am part of the Professional Speakers Association of Southern Africa, served on the executive board and past president. I'm also a Toastmasters, and I am a qualified CMC practitioner, which is a mentoring practitioner. I'm an international qualified emotional intelligence practitioner. I'm also a qualified accredited brain profiler, which means I can read your minds, right? Timber Sealy, I'm loving that hat. I'm one of South Africa's difference makers, as well as voted one of the top 10 women of inspiration in South Africa. I've got 2 TEDx talks under my name. But basically, who am I? I'm also a mom of 3 kids, guys. I don't know, under the age of 8. I think that's a superpower on its own. But that's a little bit about who I am. And I married my high school sweetheart, Sheldon. Yes, I am still immensely in love with him. Don't tell him that. Okay. All right. So let's get going. Today, I'm going to be speaking about strength in unity, human connection. And I think this is something so important to speak about, especially on International Women's Day. But before we get started, I know some of you have switched off your videos again. Can I ask you to quickly put them back on? And can you just give all the women in the room just awesome virtual claps? I think they call this virtual claps, right? Okay, or you could go like deeper, you could go like that. I love it. I'd like you just to celebrate one another in the room and just see each other. Look at your videos, look at the people on this call, look at the faces, look at the smiles, and just celebrate one another. Just clap and just celebrate and say, happy International Women's Day. Oh, Mary, I'm loving it. Wonderful. Kamal, yes, Mary, love it. All right, so let's get going on. You are more than welcome to put your video on for the video off for the duration of the talk, or you can leave it on. It is entirely up to you. All right, but let's get started. What if I told you that I have the secret formula to make you super rich? Like loads of wealth, right? If you would like some wealth and some ka-ching in your pocket, please in the chat box write boom for me. this boom, then I know that I'm talking to the right crowd here. If you want to know what the secret is to being rich, then write boom in the chat box for me. Okay, I can see there's quite a few of you guys. Like, yeah, there we go. Fantastic. So I'm loving the enthusiasm because this wealth can change the world. This formula that I'm going to give you can impact millions around you. And it can have a massive ripple effect, right? Let's take this even further. You have everything you need right now to succeed, right now to be so wealthy. But it comes down to a choice as to which path you are going to choose. Are you going to choose the path to richness? Or are you going to choose the other path I will not mention? You see, like life, there's a lot of terms and conditions. All right. We always get those T's and C's, those contracts, that fine print. Yes, as much as I'm going to share a secret formula to make you super rich, there's T's and C's, and they do apply for the next hour. You want to know what they are? If you do, write yes in the chat box. Come on, let's see. Let's see if you're ready. I love that. Lisa says it was my childhood nickname. Awesome. Belle, Shia, thank you guys. Well done. I do, Michelle. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay. Here's the catch. Here is the T's and C's. I'm not talking about money, physical richness. I know. Oh, you can all say it. And I'm not talking about fast cars and jets and big lavish houses and dream vacation holidays. What I'm talking about is intangible wealth. A wealth that can really, if really touched and in tuned with, can lead to your greatest superpower and can open up so many possibilities and opportunities your way. This intangible wealth is seen in ducks, geese, right? And if you don't know what this is called the V formation. I don't know, we're having kids. A lot of the times my daughter will ask me, why do the ducks always fly in a V? It was quite an interesting discussion that we had in the car. A lot of things that came up was maybe because the first duck in the front thinks he's boss. This is coming from a 6-year-old. Or the other ducks just like to look pretty while doing it. And the other one that my 3-year-old gave me was because they can. But here's the real truth, right? The first duck in the front is indeed physically the strongest geese or duck, you may call it. But it takes the rest in the formation to really help them all travel long distances, to conserve their energy, as well as to scare off predators with the wind behind their flaps. Now, what am I trying to say? The ducks, the geese, they have this intangible wealth. What is it? So do lionesses. Lionesses have the ability, right, to utilize each other's strengths to get the kill. They have a 95% success rate. That's a really high-performing team, right? How do they do that? They utilize one another's strengths. They have the intangible wealth. Can anyone let me know, what do you think is the intangible wealth I'm speaking about? Put in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. It's up to you. What is this intangible wealth I am talking about? Okay, Andrika says wisdom. Okay, teamwork, unity. Dominique, unity, awesome. Collaboration, Tembisile, wonderful. Working together. Most of you are right. Most of you are right. The intangible wealth is connection. It's connection. And connection comprises, geez, you can see us lunchtime soon, guys. Comprises of your knowledge, your trust, your teamwork, collaboration, peace, love, learning, all of the things you mentioned all comes down to this one word of connection. So how do we build connection, ladies and gentlemen? Well, the best way to do this is to start with you. And I'm going to share a story with you. This individual on the screen is a superstar in her mind. And she builds communities. She makes a massive income, difference and impact in her communities. And she has a heart for people. However, she didn't always know what that purpose was. She was bullied in primary school and high school. And I think she's actually in the audience right now. Let me just quickly check in the chat boxes here. I think this individual is in the audience right now. But she was bullied throughout school, has major health issues, struggled with weight, was let down numerously by people, struggled with self-esteem, was shamed, was gossiped on, had 2 near-death experiences, was in 2 armed robberies, was stabbed, was a victim of crime too many times, was rejected. You can see a lot of these things sometimes do mostly involve people. She was let down quite a bit. She experienced quite a bit, as Andrea mentioned earlier on in her talk. We go through these experiences. And with those experiences, you tend to feel certain emotions, right? Lost, scared, failure, hurt, anger, anxious. The list goes on. Ugly, depressed, guilty. But highlighted there, alone. You see, when you don't truly know what your inner strength is, you tend to isolate yourself and you tend to feel alone. And that's what this individual felt. She became her worst enemy. And she started noticing that this was a really unhealthy, repetitive cycle. And she wasn't strengthening her connections. She wasn't strengthening her relationships around her. And things were always the same. You feel like it sometimes, guys, right? That sometimes you feel like life just has it out for you. Like things just keep going wrong or challenges keep coming your way. And it's one thing after another and you can't breathe. And this individual discovered that in order to connect, they had to build inner strength. Who was this individual? Well, this individual is me. I experienced all those things and went through all of those things and those emotions. But today I know why. So that I can help others when it comes to connecting with others. You see, if you know your inner strength, what makes your superpower the greatest out there, so many things, so many possibilities and opportunities can come your way. So step 1 is know your strengths. How do you do that? I'm going to give you a quick crash course on this. And it's only 2 steps and something that you can do immediately after this talk, you can go implement. In order to build your inner strength, the first thing you need to do in your toolbox is embrace vulnerability. Whew, that is challenging, especially when you're someone who's independent, someone who wants to stand on their own, or someone who just really struggles with that self-esteem and those inner traumas. So how do you embrace vulnerability? Well, you go have a look. Be honest with yourself, self-reflection. What are your past mistakes? But what did you learn from those past mistakes? What are your past failures and what came from that? I also dare you to go ask 3 to 5 people in your immediate circle. Ask them, what are areas that I can improve on? I tend to do this every 6 months. I like to, and people say, no, man, I can't tell you, or they feel scared to open up. But that is, again, building that connection, that trust with the individual, and you tell them, please give me the feedback so that I can improve on me. I dare you to go ask 3 to 5 people so that you know in which areas you are maybe falling short. So sometimes we tend to be oblivious to it. We might not know what our areas are that we need to work on. And then you need to go through your past traumas and your struggles and try to let them go. You see, your struggles don't define you. They are not you, but they are part of your story. And we need to respect that. But we also need to work through it. And if you have past traumas, you are likely to have emotional triggers. And those emotional triggers will come out when you're interacting with people. And it can impact the connection you have with others. All right. So that's step one, embracing vulnerability. Can I get vulnerability in the chat box? Give me a pulse. Let's see. Let's see how quick you can type. Who's going to be first? Vulnerability, vulnerability. Thank you, Evelyn. I love that. Well done, Catherine. Ka-ching, ka-ching. You just won the lotto. Awesome. Well done. Well done. We've got fast typers in here. Well done. Awesome. So step two in your strength toolbox, what is it? Find moments. Find moments. Now, this is more of the light-hearted positive side of you. Can you right now tell me what are your 5 values? And if you can't, that's okay. But I really, really want you to go research and go look up someone called Brene Brown. And she has a free PDF online, and that helps you to identify what are your top 5 values. It's important to know what they are. I want you to also challenge yourself to go look at your past accomplishments. No matter how big and no matter how small, you need to go list them. And then you need to go list all your strengths. What are you great at? But this is the thing with regards to strengths. People think it's, yes, it's what you're great at, it's your asset. But strengths is an activity that strengthens you. Meaning when you do it, time goes by. Like before you know it, you were working on something, it's giving you energy, and 3 hours have gone by and it feels like 10 minutes. That is a strength. And then I go challenge and dare you to go ask 10 people around you, what do you think makes me awesome? And always receiving that feedback is so heartwarming because, again, we might not want to open up and know what those things are. It makes us uncomfortable. Some people don't like receiving compliments, and some people don't like receiving the constructive feedback. But you should welcome it on a regular basis. So find those moments that you were just acing it, that you just felt that you were working at your highest genius level. Because once you know what they are, and once you embrace that vulnerability that I spoke about, you will start identifying that you have strengthened the foundation of you. You know who you are. Why is this crucial? Why is it important to know what your inner strength is? So that you can identify it in others and build strong connections, which in return can make you feel super rich. So, step one was know your strengths. And that was 2 things that you needed to do. You need to go and embrace your vulnerability. And then you also need to go find those moments. And those are simple things that you can do right now, later today. Okay, we're on our next step. We are almost there, halfway, guys. Can I all get your videos on quickly for me? Let's see your gorgeous faces again. And then Shab says, strength is a thing that before you do it, during and after, it simply sets your soul on fire. Yeah, that's a boom chakalaka right there. It energizes you and brings out your best. Joy is present. Where is Shubs? Well done, Shubs. We got to give Shubs a virtual clap. What do you call these things? Virtual clap. Shubs, where are you? There we go. Well done, Shubs. That is awesome. That is so true. It gives you that joy, right? Boom, chaka, laka. All right. So well done. You've got 50%. You're halfway there. You're past the average. Okay. Stay with me. Let's get going. So once you are able to identify your inner strength, you are able to go to step 2, which is identify the strengths around you. And ladies and gentlemen, that is where the awesome sauce lies. That is where the secret formula is to happiness, to success, and to tons of riches. Okay. Sunny, I can see you getting quite excited there. I love it. Keep writing those notes. So step 2, identify the strengths around you. I want to take you all the way to Ethiopia. So bring your passports. You can switch off your cameras again. You're more than welcome to. But bring your passports. I hope they're valid. Because when I tell you now, Home Affairs is going to take at least a month or 2 to get it to you. But we are going to Ethiopia right now. All right. Who's been to Ethiopia? Have you been to Ethiopia? Give me a heart reaction. If you've been to Ethiopia, let's see how many people have been to Ethiopia. Ethiopia. There we go. No one. Ladies, gents, we got to make a plan, hey? On our bucket list. Why? This community is so rich with incredible talents and incredible resources of people, of intangible wealth, right? And someone in Ethiopia called Bethlehem Alamu saw this. She knew who she was. She identified her strengths. She had a passion for fashion. She had a passion for community, and she wanted to put Ethiopia on the map. How did she do that? She involved the community. She got ladies and gentlemen who were great with their hands at making things and crafting things, and brought the whole community together to create jobs and to make something and to make a passion and a purpose come alive. It's so excited about this. This company is called Soul Rebels. Go check them. SOLE Rebels. And she took the traditional skills of weaving a basket into making shoes. She uses eco-friendly materials, as well as she was the first, let me tell you this, the first footwear in the world to receive a massive certification, to a point where she opened stores all over the world. And this was all starting by the fact she's successful and she's really wealthy, but not just wealthy in finances, in so many things. Why? Because she was able to amplify the story of her community. And she took that story and she pushed it into a global scale. She identified her strength, and then she saw the strength of people around her. And that for me was just incredible. You see, she found common ground. The community in itself loved fashion. They loved making things. They loved creativity. We would listen to their stories and learn how they would weave the baskets. And with that would come empathy, understanding of people being heard and seen. You see, what she did was she turned struggles in her community, problems that she may have had financially, into ideas and solutions. That deserves an emoji of clapping, because there was strength in unity. In our own backyard, guys, in Africa, right? She's not the only one. Let's go to Ghana with our Gen Alphas and our Gen Zs. Incredible things are happening there in Ghana. There's something called the kente cloth. Now, these kente cloths are gorgeous. I mean, look at the screen. It comes in vibrant colors. It comes in vibrant patterns. And you just want to wrap yourself around it. And that's exactly what young designers did in Ghana. They took something traditional. They took the stories from their forefathers and ancestors and the people in their community, and they said they want to put Ghana on the map. They want to be known as a fashion icon, just like Italy. And trust me, they are well on their way. Why? They take the kente cloth and they actually turned that traditional cloth into modern wear for everyday people. But why I really love this example is because young designers came together. You see, they didn't see each other as a threat or as competition. or as someone that might possibly take my client away. No, no, no. They had a purpose. They came together and saw that we could put Ghana on the map and we can be named the fashion icons, to a point where they collaborated and co-created. And can I tell you, one of the world's biggest fashion runways and things like that is now being held, guess where? In Ghana. How amazing is that? Why? Because they didn't see competition. They didn't see threats in people around them. You see, how many times do we see our colleagues or people around us as threats? We need to challenge our perception and start seeing them as opportunities for collaboration and co-creation and for something more, something greater, because that is community, right? And then compassion. There's nothing like compassion. Being kind and understanding and mentoring and helping each other to get success. But you see, that requires a mindset. And that's a mindset that Evelyn spoke about too as well prior to this discussion. It's a mindset of abundance, of openness, that there's enough for everybody in this world. And ladies and gentlemen, there is. You see, Ghana, they turned their struggles and problems again into ideas and solutions. And that shows you strength in unity. Strength in unity. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have a power in you to change the world. And that is intangible wealth. That is human connection. We hear about inclusivity, diversity, and being open-minded and embracing people around us. But do we actually do it? There's a challenge going around, which is really cool on TikTok with the Gen Alphas at the moment. And the challenge is, see how many people you can make smile in one day. And here's the trick, again, with T's and C's, always, they do apply. It may not be the immediate people you know. It must be random, complete strangers. You need to try and make 10 people genuinely smile. An example of this is how I did this, because I was keen to do this challenge. I thought I can do this. I was really having a terrible, terrible week. Guys, can I tell you, this week has just been from another universe. It's just been a horrible week, and I knew that it cannot carry on like this. So I was in traffic after dropping off the kids, and I ramped up the music really nice and loud. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm a big Tay-Tay fan, and I'm sure most of you are quite sick and tired of hearing about Taylor Swift. But that lady embraces strength and unity. Let me just say that. And I put on her best song, Cruel Summer, and I was jamming and I was singing and I was just in my moment. I was finding that moment that I was telling you guys about. And I see in the corner of my eye, and I stop and I look back and I'm like, what? And this guy saying, turn down the window. Now, obviously, they try to sell you things, which I think is really a hard job in its own, guys. I mean, if those people know how to handle rejection, it's the vendors on the side of the street. And I saw he was jamming. And he's like, turn down the window. I want to hear it. Put the music up. And he was jamming with me and singing and he was dancing. And before I knew it, the car next to me, this guy that really looked quite scary, let me add, just smiled at me, started jamming as well. And I'm like, guys, how amazing is this? And obviously the robot went green and I had to leave, but I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. You see, that's the beauty of being kind. And that's the beauty of making someone genuinely smile. You secrete hormones, chemicals in your mind of serotonin and endorphins, which makes you feel good. When you feel good, you do good things. And when you do good things, more abundance comes your way. You see, you do have the power. That's what's so exciting. You have the choice again. Another example of how you have the power to build connections is put down your phones. put down or take away your laptops or any technology. Yes, technology is good. I love technology, but there's a time and a place for it. And I see so many times, if you go sit in Spur right now, I was shocked. 3 days ago, I sit in Spur and I'm looking at families around me. No, I wasn't stalking them, okay? But I look at families around me, and how many of them are on their phones? I went to the bathroom in Spur last week and I saw this whole family. They all had their cellular devices. I could see the one guy, the dad was playing Candy Crush. And then the mom was on Facebook. The daughter was on TikTok. And you could see, when you walk around the Spur, I mean, Spur doesn't know what personal space is, but, we all have a good Spur steak, right? And you can see what they were doing on their phones. And they just weren't engaging with one another. They weren't talking. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just for the next 5 minutes. Maybe they're just settling in, right? No, I watched them. That family was glued to their phones when they could have had the opportunity to really connect with one another. I want to ask you, when your kids are speaking to you, when your spouse is speaking to you, do you really stop what you're doing and give them your full attention? Look them in the eyes and truly actively listen. Focus on them and hear them out. You see, that takes a lot. It takes a lot. That is presence. You need to learn to be present. I was addicted. I was addicted to this cellular device until my 3-year-old, Tristan, my kid, I was cooking and I was on my cellular device and trying to do all the things multiple times. And he was trying to tell me something and eventually pulled my dress. He said, Mom, stop. Listen, get off your phone. A 3-year-old. A 3-year-old tells me to be more present because he wasn't being heard and he wasn't being seen. You see, we know these things, but do we actually do it? So again, I summarize. How do you make people smile around you? How do you genuinely compliment people around you? How do you embrace them? How are you listening? Can you really actively listen without interrupting someone? That is a big skill on its own. And are you present? Are you present in meetings? Or are you distracted with phones and laptops? It starts with small gestures that can make massive impact. So you have that power. You have that power to make someone feel awesome. Awesome through kindness and compassion. May it be by paying their toll fee. May it be by letting them in on traffic. May it be by helping them carry their groceries. Something small. May it be for paying for their groceries. Small gestures to make people's lives easier around us doesn't cost us that much. You have the power. You also have the power to make people feel seen and heard, to genuinely be present, especially with our elderly. I see how many times people don't stop to listen to our elderly. They're like, oh, just get on, let's just get going, let's just move. But has anyone here stopped to ask your grandparents what was their biggest story or the highlights of their lives, or what was the greatest lessons they learned, or hear their stories from when they were 6 years old or their best childhood memories? Wow, there's so much wisdom there. And if you stop to really listen to stories and engage with people and not always check your clock, always be in a rush, you can embrace empathy and understanding. And what's really interesting is that emotions is energy, and emotions, from that energy, emotions create motion. A simple example, emotions are contagious. When you're in Checkers or Pick and Pay, wherever you shop, right? And you've got your shopping cart and you're shopping and you're taking your things, and a random stranger walks past and they smile at you. What do? Usual human reaction is smile back. Why? Because emotions are contagious. But I've seen it. I've seen I've been in buildings where people walk past each other but don't really greet each other. I've seen people just walk by life and not acknowledge someone else. Empathy, understanding. You have the power. You have the power for that connection. You also have the power to change someone's perspective on the way they see things. You also have the power to help other people identify their superpower. Because trust me, it's not always that easy. You have the power that when you embrace vulnerability and you tell them, me too, and you share your story, then they don't feel so alone anymore. You see, that is just so incredible, the power of connection, what it can do. It can bring nations together. The next one is you have the power to really embrace differences by showing gratitude and recognition in your home and recognition in your workspace. When last did you take a pen to paper and write a thank you note to someone else in your workspace? I encourage you to get thank you cards, put them in your desk, and just write a heartfelt message to someone now and then. Why? I know because I received a few of those letters in my lifetime, and I've kept every single one of them because it mattered to me, because I was seen, I was heard, and I was appreciated. I don't think there are any difficult people in this world. I purely don't believe there are any difficult people in this world. I just think people are misunderstood and not seen or heard. And that's where gratitude and recognition can go so far. Yes, but my boss doesn't do it. Or no, my manager doesn't do it for me. It's not about them, ladies and gentlemen. It starts with you. How are you going to be intentional about building inner strength to recognize strength in others? You have to be intentional. You also have the power to bring people together. I have seen broken homes come together. I have seen divided teams come together simply because we just took the time to be present and connect. You see, that I feel is where the true wealth lies. That intangible wealth lies in the ability for you to identify your inner strength, your awesomeness, share that with the world, but also recognize that in others. And you see, that comes back down to a choice. You have the choice as to which direction you are going to go. Only you can make that choice. And remember, every small thing that you do can have a massive impact. And I'm curious, I wonder which road you're going to choose to take today. So let's recap. How do we build strong connections with others? And how do we find strength in unity? Step one is to identify your strength. Go embrace your vulnerability. Go take some time to self-reflect, to go and do a stock take and really identify who are you. Go do a self-mastery course. There are tons of free courses like that online. And once you know who you are and you have a solid foundation, take that superpower you have and recognize it in others. See it in others. If someone looks good, tell them, you look fabulous, and not want anything back in return. I can see you're overwhelmed with work. How can I help you? With not expecting anything in return. You know what? I can see you have quite a challenging day. I'm going to get coffee. I'm going to get you one too. How many sugars would you like? It's those small things that matter. And South Africa has a word for it. Can anyone tell me what it is in the chat box? What is that word, that intangible wealth, the local lingo? Ah, well done. Well done, Zona. Well done, guys. Ubuntu. You see, we know what it is, but do we practice it? So, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day that you get to choose if you are going to live a rich life. I wonder what direction you're going to choose. Thank you. Let's go to Q&As. Let's put some videos on. I'd love to see your videos. Put some videos on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'd love to just see all of those gorgeous faces. Choco, ooh, I'm loving it. Hello, hello. Oh, look at that smile. Catherine, hello. Can't help but Deepo, I can't help but smile. Janine, hello, everybody. Ayanda, show me that gorgeous smile, Ayanda. There we go. There it is. Marthy, Nunkapisa. Hope I said that right. Veronica, there we go. Hello, Veronique. Lenoria. Oh, how awesome is this, Colleen? And I'd just like to say a big, big boom chakalaka thank you to Colleen from Business Engage for being a champion, for finding her inner strength so that she can see strength in others by creating this forum. Can we just give Colleen tons of love, virtual love, hearts, claps, give her everything you got in that MS Teams ammunition box of yours, okay? Well done, Colleen. We want to just recognize you and see you for how amazing you are. All right. Well, Colleen, I don't know if you want to let's take some photos. Everyone put your videos on. Patricia, hello. Looking gorgeous there. Look at you. Doing a boom chaka like a dance for me. I love it. Sandra, hello. Welcome. Sunny, hello. Welcome, guys. Tabitha, hello. Hello. Oh, fantastic. All right. So everyone put your cameras on. Maritza, hello. Christina, hello. Oh, Zangisa, it's a beautiful name. All right. So, Colleen, when you're ready, I think we can try and do some print screen options here and take a few snapshots. I'm going to try on my end as well because I would love to see all the faces. There we go. So I'm going to count down to 3. And then we're going to just keep snapping and you just keep smiling as if you're getting married all over again, or if you're doing prom, matric dance all over again. Just keep it frozen there, okay? Just smile, okay? You ready? 3. Let's get everyone ready. Let me open up here and get myself ready. Yes, I can print screen. There we go. Let's do this. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. Okay. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. I'm almost done. Hold it. Okay, let's try another one. And 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Cheese. Well done, everybody. I love it. I got those awesome, gorgeous Colgate smiles. Okay, cool. Is there any questions? Would anyone like to unmute themselves? I'd love to hear some of your voices. If you'd like to unmute yourselves, and maybe if you don't even have to have a question, you can have a comment on how you found the whole session went, how the whole experience was for you today, or something that you're going to do and take back home with you, maybe from Andrea, Evelyn, whatever it may be. I think let's open up the room. Colleen, what do you think? Good? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Let's go.
Awesome. Who'd like to unmute themselves? Oh, let's see.
Hi, everyone. I'll start.
Fantastic. Veronique.
Yeah, for me, it's very insightful for today. It's very inspiring. I think Evelyn touched on being very timid and very shy a lot. It's been inspiring. And for me, the bubbliness of you like really is contagious.
Thank you.
So for me, and then the fact that you brought alive the Ghana and those countries, that for me was just amazing how the impact of us being present in moments and understanding your whole community, that for me was like yeah. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Pleasure. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share their nuggets that they've learned from today's session? Or you can ask me a question. Anyone? Soraya, I think you're unmuted. Are you all good? Shab says, so many amazing speakers today. What a privilege. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've touched our hearts. And then Judith says, overall, we'd like to thank Business Engage, yes, for today's session. I wasn't sure about joining today, but I'm glad that I did. Yes, you showed up. I love it. And I did, because I needed these stories and reminders of what we can do when we support each other and believe in ourselves. Woo! Snaps for you, Judith. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Anyone else want to unmute themselves or put in the chat box? Is there any questions, any comments? We are here to serve you and to help you in any way. Oh, Deepo, you have a beautiful, Leah Bona, Deepo, you have a beautiful smile. Leah Bona, you want to unmute yourself?
Oh yeah, I just want to say I also loved your energy and how you engaged us, and you just kept on coming with energy, and we had no choice but to respond to it. And I think you shared really beautiful insights, as the last speaker said, very beautiful reminders. The collaboration, co-creation, community compassion, and how we can look at the struggles around us and then find solutions to create big things that add value, not only on a continental scale, but also on a global scale. So I think for me, that was the session with you has been amazing. So yeah, and I do have a question, or maybe I don't know if I did miss it throughout your presentation. If you don't mind sharing, what are your 5 values?
Yes. Oh, thank you. No one really asks me this. I love it. Yes, you ladies are on fire. I love it, love it, love it. So my first one is integrity, authenticity, family, passion, and yes, I'm going to bring it in, fun. My number 5 is fun. Life is too short, ladies. It's way too short. But I just also wanted to show you another, a lot of the times I'm a visual learner, and there's something I wanted to show you for those that are still on the call. And I think I've got 2 minutes left or 5 minutes left. But chopsticks, we use it for sushi, obviously. Who here loves sushi? Come on, ladies, gents, I know there's a lot of sushi lovers in the room, right? Okay. And just to summarize, I think everything we've heard today, from Andrea to Evelyn to everything, here you are. You're a chopstick, right? And if you do things alone in this world, because the world is hard and cruel sometimes, right? And if you do it alone, yes, you're a strong chopstick, but sometimes life is going to break you, right? Okay, it's going to break you. However, here you are, chopstick. And you can show your kids this. By embracing people around you and connecting and having empathy and surrounding yourself around other people and building your tribe. See, all of you together. It is impossible. Sorry, I know it's bad sound effects, but it's impossible to break. Guys, it is impossible. It really, really is. There is strength in numbers. Remember that. Remember that. Awesome. Anyone else? Oh, Sunny, you have a question. Let's go. Or a comment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks to Business Engage for organizing this session. I love attending these. However, I was late today because I had meetings, so I missed quite a bit. But one thing, the question always on my mind when we attend these, lots of women, and we want women to grow. We talked about women in tech, but how do we make that transition from we're sitting in these talks, we're so motivated, you go back to your work environment, and now you have to practically now move. You've been wanting to advance and move. How do we make the transition practically? Like if I go back tomorrow and say, I want a promotion, how do I make that transition in a practical manner?
Awesome. So a practical manner was definitely you need to know yourself. A lot of the times life throws you under the bus and we get hit with a lot of challenges. And then we think we know ourselves, but do we actually? Someone asked me a question yesterday, really powerful. I was in an adjudication and she said to me, I'd like to ask you a hard question. I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. I mean, authenticity is one of mine, vulnerability is one of my values, you know. And she said to me, if you do not exist tomorrow, what will happen to all the people around you? See, and that's something, again, it hit me with a ton of bricks. Why? Because in that moment, I realized, wow, how much I've done with just who's around me. So you need to do that stock take. And a lot of times I say this because, yeah, we know our values, we know our strengths, we set goals, great. Do you really know your values? Do you really know why you believe what you believe? Have you challenged your beliefs? Do you really know what your strengths are? And here's the best part. Have you written them down? Because a lot of times we can say it, but we don't really feel it, if that makes sense. So I really feel that most people should do a personal mastery course as soon as possible. Strengthen your foundation, so that when that promotion does come and they do ask the hard questions, Sunny, which they're going to, you can confidently stand up and say, yes, I am ready for this job. I am ready for this position, and this is why.
Thank you.
And a lot of people can't do that. So I would say first start with you, personal mastery, identify, do a little bit of a stock take. And then for that promotion you're looking at, go research it. A lot of people don't do this. We tend to just check what the job spec said. Go check what the other job descriptions from the other industries say. Better yet, what I would challenge you to do is, they have a specific set job description, great. But in the interview, ask them, but why are we not thinking about X, Y, Z? Because this is the latest trend that's happening now. You see what you've just done there? You've made yourself not only employable, marketable, because you have the knowledge. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that answers your question, Sunny. That's only one practical thing. I can speak for day. I don't know how much time we have. I can speak for a whole afternoon for this. Another way you could possibly do this is by being a role model in your immediate business unit. So start by putting up a compliments board. Start by showing leadership skills, by taking initiative to start mini projects on your own accord to uplift the culture within your own business environment. Because what's going to happen is it's going to be so contagious. People are going to be like, oh my word, have you seen what's happening in accounts? I wonder what they've got that we don't have. Leadership, community, connection. You got to walk the talk. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions? Oh, wait, there is some here. How do we break eco bubbles for the good of humankind? Go anywhere most of the times, blacks together, whites together, Indians together, and will we ever get there? Oh, I love that you asked this. So I'm on the Professional Speakers Association for Pretoria chapter, and I got this exact question, but in a different way. I posted photos of myself. You can go see on social media. I posted photos of myself with Sipiwe, with Jabu, with Maureen. And obviously you can see I'm the only white individual there. And there's Chinese and coloreds. And we have such a diverse group of speakers at the Pretoria chapter. And I got asked this question. They said to me, how do you do it? How are you breaking those bubbles? Well, simply by making a conscious effort not to be always in those bubbles. Because a lot of the times what happens is you tend to gravitate towards those bubbles because it's safe. I mean, it's okay. It's safe. You know it, right? What I did was I equipped myself with the power to speak Northern Sotho. And when I say, Kialibocha or Dumelang, Ache, and I have this whole conversation, people are like, what? What just happened? Why? I took conscious effort to learn the language. I learned how to amapiano. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I learned the moves because that's what they were talking about in the circles. So what I'm saying is it starts with you to break those bubbles. What are you doing to learn about the others, to challenge your perspective, and to engage, to create conversations about it? Okay, so that's just maybe one way, but I see Colina's come on and I think I'm out of time. So if you have those questions, I'm going to pop in my email address if that's okay, Colleen, or you can just follow me on social media.
That's perfect.
You can find me under Taryn Lee Kearney on LinkedIn. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. And better yet, please show me some love by giving me a LinkedIn recommendation. I'd really appreciate that. And you can follow me on TikTok. I'm there with the Gen Alphas and the Gen Zs. And you can follow me on YouTube as well as Facebook and Insta. Thanks, guys. Over to you, Colleen. Oh, I think she's there we go. You froze a little bit.
I don't know if you...
It's okay. It's probably Eskom. Sorry, I blame
it's Eskom.
I thought so.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. You just frozen, so maybe just switch off your video and then you can just speak through the mic. Maybe that might help.
Yeah. And too much over here, but hopefully you guys can hear me. So thank you once again for being with us here this morning. Thank you once again to Pfizer, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Accenture, Kearney, Life Healthcare, Nedbank, BMW, EOH, and Vodacom. And Taryn, thank you so much for ending off our session today. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Lots of
much.
love.
Thank
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Hi, Adele. Bye, Adele.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.